According to the World Health Organization, or WHO, genetic counseling is a process through which knowledge about genetic aspects of illnesses is shared by trained professionals with those who are at an increased risk or either having a heritable disorder or of passing it on to their offspring. These professionals are genetic counselors, and their roles are: first, help families identify the possible risk of having a genetic order. Second, gather and analyze family histories and inheritance patterns. Third, calculate the risk of disease or trait recurrence. Fourth, provides information about genetic testing and related procedures. In human genetics, there are two methods used to identify the modes of inheritance of traits or diseases in a man. The first technique is pedigree analysis. It is a way of analyzing the inheritance patterns of a trait within a family, and it could be useful to understand more about that trait. It shows the presence or the absence of traits as it relates to the relationships among parents, offsprings, and siblings. Now, in reading a pedigree, pedigree charts present different individuals through specific shapes based on sex. Squares in the pedigree represents male, while circles are for females. Now, if either of these shapes are shaded or filled in, then it is affected, meaning it carries the trait that we are looking for. Relationships in families are indicated by lines. A horizontal line between a male and a female indicates marriage. A vertical line indicates a line of descent. If you look at the right, we can see two people who are married. Then, we have a bracket beneath that represents their children. They had 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. In every pedigree, you can see that there are Roman numerals. This indicates generation. Roman numerals 1 means they are the parents, the first generation. Then Roman numeral 2 means these are the children, the second generation, and so on. Other shapes include the following. Now, after plotting your data in the pedigree chart, we can now determine how certain alleles are inherited, and it is also known as the modes of inheritance. There are 5 basic modes of inheritance. First, the autosomal dominant. It is where the trait is coded by a dominant allele located in the autosomes. Individuals who are either homozygous or heterozygous dominant manifest the trait. For example, having an attached or untouched earlobes. Second, autosomal recessive. It is where the trait is coded by a recessive allele located in the autosomes. Individuals who are homozygous recessive manifest the trait. For example, inability of rolling the tongue. Third, the X-linked dominant. It is where the trait is dominant and it is located in the X chromosome. More females are affected than males. For example, the presence of defective enamel teeth. 4. X-linked recessive. The trait is recessive and it is located in the X chromosome. More males are affected than females. And lastly, the Y-link or Hollandric inheritance. It is when trait is located on the Y chromosome and it is only passed on males since they have the Y chromosome. For example, the webbing toes. The second technique will be karyotype analysis, or also known as chromosome analysis. It is an approach used to study how human phenotype is affected by the changes in its chromosome complement. This involves arranging the chromosomes and identifying changes in the structure or its number. In a normal karyotype of a man, chromosomes are arranged in homologous pairs. Homologous chromosomes are about the same size and contains the same genes. In each chromosome pair, or in each homologous pair, one is received from the parent and the other is from the other parent. There are 23 pairs, 46 total chromosomes. 22 of the pairs, or the 44 chromosomes, are called autosomes. This means that they are the body cells and are not related to your biological sex or in determining your sex. These chromosomes have genes related to eye color, skin color, height, or hair texture. The last 2 chromosomes are called the sex chromosomes. It is the 23rd chromosomes, which determines one's biological sex, making you either a male or a female. Female have 2 X chromosomes, while males have 1 X and Y chromosome. So why is it important to learn about the chromosomes and karyotypes? What do you think? One reason is that it helps us understand genetic disorders. A karyotype can reveal either a missing or an extra chromosome at a specific locations. A normal state of a cell or an organism with 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs, are called euploidy. If any variations occurred, creating an abnormality, this state is now called aneuploidy. It leads to the occurrence of birth defects. Aneuploidy can occur during a non-disjunction event and tends to result in a chromosome of having either too many or too few. It can either be monosomy, where an affected individual have only one copy of its chromosome, or trisomy, where an affected individual have 3 copies of the same chromosome. Examples of trisomy includes Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, and Patau's syndrome. Down syndrome is the most common case in trisomy. Trisomy occurs in its chromosome 21. Shown in the picture is the karyotype of a man having a Down syndrome. When you look at the chromosome 21, we can clearly see that there are 3 copies of the same chromosome. This disorder causes impairments both in cognitive ability and physical growth, making affected individuals have the higher risk of some health problems.